Hello everybody, Tim Knight obviously, and I wanted to record a video to kind of recapture my thoughts on the day. And I gotta tell you this, I probably mentioned this the last time I was on the East Coast, that this whole 9:30 to 4 thing is kind of for the birds. I really prefer the old West Coast, get up in the pitch black morning and the day is done by lunchtime. So it's definitely a change, because I basically putter around and find things to do, and it feels like 9:30 is like eons away. So yeah, not for me. But as always, don't have a particular plan for this, and it's probably going to be 90% just me talking and 10% showing a chart or two. And I'm going to stay within the Thinkorswim platform here, because I really just want to talk about the intraday futures stuff, because that obviously was the theme on Thursday. There's really nothing I need to go into with respect to broad market stuff or the ETFs. I thought my pre-CPI ETF thing, there's really nothing in there that's different now, even after what we went through on Thursday. So this is call it a therapy session if you like, but this is just some musings about what happened Thursday. And I think in a nutshell, and this is going to sound whiny at first, but let me explain, is I do feel a bit cheated. And I realize the old saw about, the market doesn't owe you anything. But here's what I mean by cheated. Because we approach this binary event, and binary events by their very nature could go either way. And we can either have no risk, or we can be positioned for up or positioned for down, or what have you. And in my own case, I was positioned for a drop, but not super aggressively. The two elements there that make it not super aggressive are: one, there's nothing expiring this year, literally, and two, I actually did dial it back to about 10% cash. And in my head, this is a big event, so in my head I'm kind of running through, all right, you're either gonna have a great, a great day or a terrible day, and let's focus on the terrible day. What will you do if the CPI comes in soft and the market starts rallying? And so I thought that through, and I thought that through about, okay, well, trim back the least appealing positions and just kind of hunker down and raise cash. And if it's a great day, if the CPI comes in hot, then I can just kind of kick back and watch those profits grow. The thing I wasn't prepared for was both things in the span of about 30 minutes. Because the thing is that we got, and I did a lot of self-talk during this, so it closer and closer and closer, the market's getting stronger and stronger and stronger as we get closer to the hour. And we reach this point where it's like plus 50 points. So like shortly before, just before the CPI came out, we were up like 50. And as I related in my post this morning, I was sort of walking a dog around and glued to the iPhone. And then this happened. And I was delighted. And this is where the cheated part comes in. Because you reach this point and you figure, you know what? I took the risk. I did the analysis. I prepared. It could have gone my way or not my way. And it's gone my way. Good for you. You've earned this. And, then you want to just kind of reap. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine, like, oh, by the way, today is going to be an explosively higher day. It's going to have a 200-point reversal on the ES. It's going to reverse hundreds of points on the NQ. It's going to reverse thousands of points on the Dow. What do you think of that? Never, never, never. Because as of here, it was like, today is going to rock. And then the day starts, and we seem to be sort of like bottoming and getting a little bit of strength, and now that's kind of to be expected here and there. But the strength just kept getting stronger. And then we go into this insanity. And just higher and higher and higher, just battering down, making the plunge punier and punier. This is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So if you look at it as a whole, it's like this. And so it's almost like, I mean, the end result was almost like the CPI came in soft. That was kind of the, in other words, the actions I had to take were exactly akin to hunker down, trim the worst positions, back off, etc. And so in the end, like I said, we did have this gargantuan historic reversal. So where do things stand now? Well, I'll just say my own portfolio and then I'll back this chart up some. As it stands now, it's such a crazy day. I'm hoping I got the facts right here. But I believe 27 positions, as I've said ad nauseum, the earliest of which expires January 2023. So there's 99 days left even on the earliest ones. 25% cash. Now, the one thing, and I saw Yazzer had made mention about getting out ASAP. I will say in my personal account, I actually did just that. For a very silly reason. Nothing to do with, I have no credit to give myself on this. Early in the day, a good trading friend of mine said, take profits. And usually I just roll my eyes and ignore them. And forgive me if you're listening to this, good friend. But this time, it's like, I will. And so in the personal account, I actually shuttered everything, like within the first 5 minutes. And I was completely prepared to resent him for the rest of my life after that. But I wrote him several times later saying, thank you for nudging me. That was exactly the right thing to do. In my big account, I've already told you where things are. 25% cash, 27 bearish positions. And it's the other thing that really bugs me about this whole thing is that my view was that if we got a hot CPI, it would essentially set the tone for, a couple of weeks and maybe open the gateway to 3,200 on the ES. So where are we at now then? If we back way away from this, let's back even farther away. We need more. It's pretty interesting because we've got this ping pong situation going on here. Here, this red line at the bottom is the Fibonacci around 3,500, which we got basically nailed it, just very, very, very close. And then we did this nauseating explosive move. I suppose we could pad this to some degree. We've got some blob right there that should slow things down. And of course, this level here should certainly slow things down. So if you got to say 3740 or so, that probably is just about it unless something else wacky happens, because I saw Zero Hedge was just trying like crazy to explain what on earth happened on Thursday, because it was very surprising. And it was nothing clear, like, well, Powell stood up in front of worldwide television and said we are now pivoting. Nothing like that. It was nothing clean and clear. It was like, oh, well, delta this and gamma that and da-da-da-da-da, really arcane stuff. So anyway, at this point, we've just got 1 day left this week, and there are a couple of items coming out. There's retail coming out an hour before the open, and a half hour after the open. There, I think, is the consumer sentiment. So those could bump things around. And the other thing is that earnings season kicks off with a bang, as always with the banks. All kinds of big banks reporting in the morning, so that should help set the tone too. So as we approach the 10-minute mark on this, I'll just say it was more disappointing than if the CPI had come in soft and we did the same thing. Plunging and then rocketing feels way worse than just plain old rocketing, and it's not a good feeling. But I've turned risk down, and we'll see how Friday goes. But yeah, not really what anyone expected in the least. So anyway, that's my excursus on this. If nothing else, I hope that some people with similar feelings feel not so alone. And I will end it at that. See you Friday.